Hi guys, Matt from the Big River here. We got more fish this week. Just freshwater this week. Got a great big bunch. Also got plants coming in as well. So big orders, great stuff coming in. Got some ridiculously cool stuff on this order. Let's see how they look. First thing out of the box is neon gold blue-eyed tetras, or neon tetras albino with blue eyes, if you prefer. We'll call them gold neons here on the tag when you come to look for them. African glass cats, got a nice group of those guys. Haven't had Africans for a while. I usually get the Asian glass cats. Must have ticked the wrong box, but African glass cats and Asian glass cats look very similar. A little bit of a dark line on the African ones. So cool on that. Next up is some red bikers, Plecos indulcari, if you like that name better. Heard them called saddle biker too, I think. Got a couple bettas on this order, not a lot, but a few. Nice specialty bettas. Got in some rubber lip plecos. Haven't had those in a little while. They had them available. Inexpensive, good algae eater. They like a little cooler water. They don't do good above 80 degrees. If you're in the mid 70s, they'll do fine. Another cool catfish. These are dwarf. What are they? The dwarf. Giraffe cats, that's right. Dwarf giraffe cats. I was trying to say horse heads, but that's a different type of catfish altogether. Dwarf giraffe cats get about 8-10 inches versus the regular giraffe cats get like 2-3 feet. They're huge. Dwarves are cool though. Here are some cardinal tetras. These are supposed to be the wild Colombian. They look nice and big, bigger than I would expect from the wild Colombian. So nice on that. Must be time of year. Reboot on the Royal Clown Knife. Got one, sold it out right away, so we got another because they were available and they usually aren't. So we went ahead and did that. There's a couple more of those cool bettas I promised you. Next is some catfish. These are some violet cories. Violet cories are the Similus. I used to call them smudge spot. Violet sounds so much cooler. Either way, very neat little cory. Here's some reticulated hillstream loaches. Nice little scribble pattern on those guys. Our best-selling hillstream loach by far. So we've got a good collection of them over there. Got those pandas last week. Sprite panda loaches, our type of hillstream. Got a couple other types as well. All right, that's one box down. We got 5 boxes on this order. Got another few boxes at the airport. Should be here any time. And then plants, so lots and lots of cool stuff to look at. Here are Bolivian rams, restock on those. Nice size, nice color on those. Bolivian rams, obviously. I tell this story a few times. So ram comes from Microgeophagus ramirezi, or ram. That is your German blue ram or your gold ram. But your Bolivian ram, very closely related fish, Microgeophagus, but it's Altipinosa, which has no ram in it whatsoever. But we still call them a ram, so, names are names. Got discus on this order, a couple great ones. This is one of those white tiger turquoise, right? Yeah, white tiger turquoise, very nice, 3-inch fish. Yeah, at least that, gorgeous fish. Next is something that I have never had before. Got some ridiculously cool fish on this order, and these are one of them. These are called Cyprichromis leptosoma, or they'll call them the Tanganyikan sardine or sardine cichlid. That particular variety, these are the Mapimbi black bees. They come in different color variants. They get about this long, but they're a slender little cichlid. Very mellow, not to be put in with your rock dwellers. Very specialized fish. Here's another discus for you, a nice big red melon. Got 2 different varieties of the sardines. Actually, one of them, I couldn't find a common name. They're not technically a sardine, but they're very closely related. Got a big bunch of these guys too. These are some big Alanacaras. These are the OBs. I got OBs and firefish. Nice big batch of them. I might even put them on special because I got a big batch. There's another one. Good looking OB peacock. Combinados, not special by any means, but especially useful. You can use those to eat the brown algae off your live plants. Here's some black coolies. Last week we ordered black coolies and got regulars, and it's like, well, it turns out we could use regulars too, so that's cool. Now we got the blacks, the regulars, and another batch of zippers because we sold them out so fast after getting them in the house last week that we had to get more. Zippers are fun. They're a little bit tinier pangle or coolie loach. Only get about half the size, but have the same color pattern as your standard banded coolies. say standard banded coolies, there's a lot of different types of pangolins in the world, or coolie loaches. Just in the banded type alone, there's several different variants that we see either regularly or occasionally. All right, next up is some grommies. Got a couple different grommies on this order. These are the regular old dwarf grommies like you get out of a river in India. Next up is that other variety, Cyprichromis. This is Microlodontus, which is closely related to the Leptosoma, but I never found it related to that name sardine cichlid. It looks like the same kind of guy, but it's a different species, and this is a variety of a Maboko, if you can pronounce the African on that. Another very cool Tanganyikan, very unusual, hard to find Tanganyikan cichlid. It's a sparkling grommy. Promised you a couple types of grommies, and there's another type. Tiny little guy. Monster later. These are African tiger scats. I wanted to buy a whole batch of them, and I steeled myself to just buy 3, so that's the first one out of the box. Black ghost knife. Cool thing about those African tiger scats, we've had them a few different times. They are a true brackish fish where they can go from freshwater, 100% freshwater, all the way to the sea and back again and back and forth. Very few fish can actually do that. Usually when you have a brackish fish, they live one or the other most of their life or as part of their life cycle. Cool pleco. This is a slate pleco. It doesn't have an L number. You only get an L number when they didn't get a scientific name first, and that was one of the very cool plecos that actually got a scientific name before it ever got assigned an L number. This one does have an L number. That's a gold nugget, L18 gold nugget pleco, has a scientific name also. Originally, they were going to retire those L numbers as the scientific names caught up, but we all got so used to using them that they never went away. Here is some rosy loach. Their species name is mango. I just love that. Rosy loach is a tiny little hovering loach that actually great in a nano tank. Unusual for loaches in general that are known to be a little bit nippy. Those guys are actually very mellow. Silver tip tetra on the Tetra special. Only the second Tetra come out of the box this week. Any of your Tetras, if you buy 4 more, we'll give you 25% off if you subscribe to our channel. So a little plug for the channel, but also a great deal for you. Wow, big dinosaur biker here. This is an Ansorgi. Ansorgi is considered the largest of the bikers. They caught one in Nigeria that was literally 3 feet long and is big around, like huge, but more commonly about 2 feet on most of your bikers. And Senegals being on the small end, and then Sorgis being the extreme on the other end. Some of your Nile bikers get good and over 2 feet as well. So lots of different types of bikers. That one came in. It looked like about 6 inches plus, which is, about 14 times bigger than what we get most of our little guys in. So it's very cool. A little more expensive because of it, but if you want one that won't get eaten, that's a good choice. Here's that firefish I promised you. Here's one of them anyway. Got 6 of the OBs and 6 of the firefish. Every one of them is a little different. They're a bit of piece living art. Yeah, there's another one. Nice bright red color on those guys. Next up is Chili Rasboras, completely opposite end of the spectrum. Micro Rasbora. That is perhaps one of our most popular selling fish for any of your micro tank needs. Another firefish, can't see them through the bag. And let's see, what else? We got some more microfish. This is our neon blue Rasbora, or the Sundadanio goblinus. Again, love those names. Goblins are, any fish with the name goblin's got to be great, right? Emerald dwarf Rasbora, Erythmacron, if we're going back to them. Danio or Rasbora is always the question on those guys. Danio and Rasbora really overlap liberally, but those are like the sister to, or very close cousin to the CPDs. CPDs have not been available the last couple of weeks, but we do have the Emerald dwarf Rasboras. They got stripes rather than spots. Picked these guys up since they sounded awfully interesting. Black and yellow Nishiki Modaka rice fish. A little more expensive than some of the other rice fish we've had in. We'll see how they color up. Right now they look kind of orange and kind of silver white, but we'll see if they get that orange and black to them. Some of the rice fish can have just amazing color. Here's another one of those tiger scats. I told you we had 3. Yep, here's the other 2. Very cool. Very interesting fish. Get about 1 foot in diameter, only about 1 inch right now. So A lot of growing to go on those guys. Green tiger barbs, staple of the industry. I know tiger barbs have been selectively bred for that green color. And rocket clown killies, another nanofish. Lots of nanofish on this order and at every order. We do a lot of work with nanofish. I don't think we have much for shrimp on this order, just because we were reasonably stocked and we didn't order from our primary shrimp distributor this week. But lots of little cohorts, things to go with your shrimp on this order. Let's see, one more box from this vendor. Let's see what's in the box. Another firefish, another OB zebra, or not zebra, OB peacock, another discus, because you know he who has the most discus wins. That's a red cover discus, so I think we have 4 discus on this week's order. There's another firefish and some rainbows. Got a couple rainbows on a couple orders this week. These are the turquoise rainbows, gorgeous little fish. If they come in good shape, the turquoise rainbow is one of my favorite Montanias. Here's another OB peacock. And who's in here? Oh, yep, that's another OB. Each one of these OBs is so different. It's like different color grants. And here's another discus. Is that a turquoise? Blue turquoise, I call this one. Blue turquoise, red turquoise, royal blue. All those names kind of variation on a theme. And the last one out of this box is an OBZ or OB peacock. You can see OB zebras as well. Similar pattern to a Mabuna. We'll be right back with another order and plants. Alrighty, here we go again. We got lots more to look at. I think we get some blackworms on this part, maybe some live brine shrimp. I know I got a bunch of plants in there. Let's see what else. Well, first thing up is those blackworms, I promised you, and the live brine shrimp. So, feed is in the house. What's next, you say? Well, let's see. I'm gonna guess fish. All fish from this vendor. Some African cichlids. Those are the Lombardy cichlid, or the Kenyai. Don't ask me why their common name is Kenyai and their scientific is Lombardy. Nice barbs there. These are the checker barbs. You think of barbs as being chasey and nippy and maybe even a little bit on the big side, but those are not. They only get about an inch. And really mellow, nice for a community tank, good schooling fish. Here's another good schooling fish. These are on the Tetra special, buy 4 more, get 25% off. Those are Priscilla tetras. Priscillas are actually a confluence fish. They live where 2 rivers come together and will tolerate more fluctuation in the water than you would expect. Here are some frogs. I said there was all going to be fish, but these are not fish. These are frogs. They got little legs. African dwarf frogs, restock on those guys. Here's some rainbows. These were supposed to be a golden rainbow. Got to double check the invoice and see what they said. I'm going to do that right now because they told me it was going to be a golden rainbow, and I looked it up and I was like, what is the scientific on that? Where's my golden rainbow? Golden rainbow. There it is. Goldie eye. That's something completely unknown to me. That was not the one I was looking for, but it's a Montania, that we know. There you go. There's some fish nerddom right there. Here are some platies. Got some nice rainbow colored platies. And who else we got in the box? These are cardinals, I believe. Pretty blanched out, but they are cardinals. Last batch, or one of the batches I got in, turned out to be just regular neons. Here are some white clouds. Looks like golden white clouds, but they're just blanched from shipping. They'll color up here shortly. And some cories. These are your regular old green Anea cories. Nice color on those guys. Nice size, fat bellies. And last in this box, we have some ghost shrimp. Ghost shrimp are, well, see-through because they're ghosts. Nice to have on hand. Some people actually feed those to their axolotls. They actually make a fun pet, though. Cherry shrimp are a little brighter and more interesting to look at. More feeder items. We have feeder guppies. Nice big batch of those. And feeder comets. I'm not going to lift these if you want to look at them. Peek into the box. There you go, feeder comets. Whole bunch of feeder items. Let's see if I can find a spot over here to stick those. We got another box of fish and then a box of plants. Wow, there we go. All right. Next verse, same as the first. Let's see what we got here. Large tiger barbs. Much larger than those checker barbs. Good size on those guys. Some angels. These are the blushing, or said albino red-eyed angels is what they called them. We're calling them assorted small premium. But nice albino angels for you. And then some silver dollars. Itty bitty guys now, they'll get up to 5 inches. They can be a pretty good sized fish. Schooling fish, they are tetra. They are on the special. You buy 4 more, you'll get 25% off. We do recommend them in a group. Here are some more koi cats. Those are the panda koris. Nice little fellas. Good little shape on those. Restock. We're completely out this week. Here's some more koris. These are the Paleatus koris, or the salt and pepper koris. Because he who dives with the most koris wins, right? And more tiger barbs. These are the green tiger barbs of the large variety. They look almost platinum. Nice looking color on those. Very nice fish. More platies. You know, these are swordtails. These are, called them a Montezuma. Kind of a green speckled swordtail. Look a little bit on the skinny side. We'll have to see if we can clean those up a little bit. Here's those other platies. I forget what they called these one. They had some special name. It's probably the little black mark on the tail that they were referring to, but mostly a red platy. I guess we do have some shrimp on this order. These are the black crystal shrimp. Not a bad size on these, a little bit bigger than the last batch of these we got in, and pretty good conformation. So nice batch of fancy shrimp. We still have some of those pintos over there, some of the tiger striped ones and the spotted ones. And then last out of this box we have some mystery snails. The mystery is, what would we do without them? We really enjoy our mystery snails. One more box here. We'll take a quick peek inside the box under the hood, just because we're not going to take all day to unbox each one of them because it would take forever. But these are the plants for this week. Got a whole big nursery batch of aquarium plants, and that's it for this week's order, guys. Thanks for sticking in.